Bla Bli Blu is the name of the perfume house that we will be reviewing today. And if you're new to the channel, my name is Deep. You're watching Scent Saga, and this is another episode of DC Perfumes with Scent Saga, where we talk about Indian perfumes. And Bla Bli Blu is an Indian house, and I'm sorry, I'm a bit late to join the party because there are already a few reviews available online. I'm pretty sure that you have checked those out, but this review or this video is going to be unlike anything that you have seen so far. That is what I feel. It could be that you have seen it already. Okay. If in case you want to get an honest, uncut, raw opinion about how Bla Bli Blu perfumes are, I think this video is for you. I would like to say I actually wanted to hate this perfume. Okay, even before the perfumes were received, I had a preconceived notion that the perfumes are going to be awful. I have to give my hats off to Bla Bli Blu, the marketing team behind Bla Bli Blu. They were able to create this story, this buzz around the fact that Aakash Anand, is he the owner of Bla Bli Blu? Like Bella Vita, the owner of Bella Vita is Aakash Anand, or is it Palash Arneja? So when was the last time you were thinking about the fact that who is the director of so and so perfume house? Who's the director of Ajmal? Who's the director of Asasi? Who's the director of Wildstone? No, right? But when it came to Bla Bli Blu, is Aakash Anand the owner of Bla Bli Blu? Is he starting another brand after Bella Vita? Oh my God. So many questions and even some dedicated reviews regarding who is the owner, brand identity. A lot of things were done. Is it really something that is important? I guess no. If you see the page of India Filings 2024, you will see that Aakash Anand is listed as the director of Rartik Designs firm that is basically selling the perfumes. Okay, if you see the labeling at the back end, marketed and customer care by Raritik Designs Private Limited. So who's the director of Raritik Designs Private Limited? One of the listed directors is Aakash Anand. But the latest one, the latest information from 2025 will give you a different story. As of now, the newly appointed directors, or if you do a Google search, it says that the additional director is Palash Arneja and Verma. And according to the reports, Aakash Anand is not associated with this brand anymore. Does this make any difference? For me, it does not at all. It doesn't really matter who's the owner, at least to me. Is this video sponsored or a paid promotion? The short answer is no. This video is not sponsored or paid. All that I'm saying is my honest opinion regarding the perfumes, but your brother made a smart move over here, okay? And that is the reason I told you earlier, like I wanted to hate the products even before I tested them out. So here is the story. But a small disclaimer, this video is going to be a bit lengthy, unlike the other videos that I record. So please bear with me for this video, okay? If you want to know everything about the incident, the perfumes and everything, okay? So initially, when Bla Bli Blu perfumes were launched, I basically bought a tester set to test it out, okay? I uploaded the post on Instagram as well, like Bla Bli Blu, what the F is this? I mean, what is the naming convention? And I was stupid enough to open it in such a way that I had to, tear this part off. I was working as a hooligan, okay, to open the box. Testers arrived, and even before testing them properly, I had a trip planned to Rajasthan. I was visiting Jodhpur and Udaipur. So even before I tested this, I left for the trip. While I was on the trip, I received a message from a guy named Ayush, who is handling the marketing of Bla Bli Blu perfumes and connecting with the reviewers and influencers. Okay. So the first message that I received from the brand basically, pissed me off. Reason, the message stated, "Hey there, creator. I use this site from Bla Bli Blu. Your profile has been approved for an exclusive collaboration with our premium perfume brand." My theory was approved. Did I apply? That kind of pissed me off. I mean, I have spoken to the brands who will, connect with me, try to say that we have these perfumes. Would you like to review or something? But approved, So that was the reason I was like, even before I try the perfumes out, man, I hope that the perfumes are not that great. I want to go ahead and bash the perfume. So I actually responded back to them. Okay. I actually asked, did I hear this right? My profile has been approved. Have I applied to it by any chance? If not, how was I approved, may I ask? That was the kind of, conversation that I was having with the guy. And I mean, he told that I liked your profile, I'm reaching out, blah, 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 blah. The good part was this entire thing was not a paid promotion according to them. So they were like, this is not a paid promotion. We are not giving money to anyone and blah, 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 blah. So I said that, okay, I already have the tester with me. Let me test it out and see. So by this time, I was pretty much sure. Just let me get back from my trip, test this tester out. I'm going to go make a roast video, get a lot of views. And, that was the thing that was going on in my head. Okay, I basically wanted to do that. But after I came and I tested the product, there were a couple of things that I really liked about the perfumes, and then there were a few things that I didn't like about the perfume. I was like, anyway, I want to review the Bla Bli Blu perfumes. So why buy it when the brand is actually offering it to me in any way? Because anyway, I don't do paid promotion. So I was like, yeah, let's see how these perfumes are. And then I said to the brand that, okay, I like the perfumes, so you can send me out. Again, they basically sent me another tester for him, for her, and there was another tester for oud based perfume, which they called Habibi. Bla Bli Blu Habibi. Parfum Oud Unisex. Okay. This is another tester box. So in total, I received 3 tester boxes, but here is something pretty misleading over here. You will feel that every box will have a different set of testers to try. No. There are 2 perfumes that are common or omnipresent across all the tester box. Okay. Be it him, be it Habibi, be it her, it's there. Love Drunk and Lights Off. You check the female ones, you have the Love Drunk and Lights Off. You check the oud one, it's there. You check the her one, it's there. Love Drunk, Lights Off are the 2 perfumes that are omnipresent. And then they send me 200 ml bottles of 2 separate perfumes. Can you guess which 2 they sent? Love Drunk, Lights Off. So I don't know how, but I have got like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 testers of Love Drunk, 200 ml bottles of Love Drunk. So that's it. That is how I got the perfumes, and then I started testing them out. And once I have done my tests thoroughly, I want to come back and do the video now. Although in this video, I will highlight almost all the perfumes that I have tested. With regards to the female perfumes, I will only highlight the ones that Chandrima loved. Chandrima, my wife, in case you're not aware of. The ones that she loved, there are only 3 that I will mention over here. And I'm also not very sure as to which clones, they are trying to clone, because I felt that most of the perfumes are twist or inspired by some of the popular DNAs out there. There was certain amount of things that I noticed in the reviews made by others, which was kind of weird. But it was a common statement across a few reviews. If you have seen the other reviews of Bla Bli Blu, there is a line that is spoken by a lot of reviewers. The quality of the perfumes are good, almost similar to Beardo G&T. This is something that I like. Every reviewer is saying the same thing, Beardo G&T. That cannot be a coincidence, at least. I haven't tested Beardo G&T, so I can't really comment on it, okay? Let me tell you what I felt about the perfumes. And once I have spoken about all the good stuff about the perfumes, I'm going to come and talk about the negative stuffs about the perfumes, okay? First things first, let's start with the him set. Let me open up my notes. So over here, there are 6 perfumes. Lights Off, Love Drunk, By the Beach, Old Money, My Wingman, and SelfMade. So let's start with the first one. Good stuff is the packaging, okay? They have got a box. Then they have got another box. So 100 ml of this perfume would cost around 755 rupees as of now. By the Beach is 595. SelfMade is 675. My Wingman, Old Money are 755. So the prices are kind of a bit different, spread across different sections, but at least all the perfumes have an MRP of 1000, and then there are some discounts, okay? But what I liked about the box was, like, they have a box, inside they have another box, and then they have the perfumes over here. The bottles look like Want to Stand Out, South Korean brand. This is the bottle of Love Drunk, okay? So over here, you can see cap opens up nicely. The atomizer, this is one of the cheapest atomizers available with an extended neck, that is for sure, but at least it throws the mist properly. Quite powerfully, honestly. The feedback regarding the same thing. You already saw how Love Drunk is. This is Lights Off. So some quality control needs to be done with the bottles, because the cap is flimsy. It doesn't settle. Also, I noticed something. This atomizer is red in color, and this paint is slowly chipping off from the atomizer, and the paint is kind of moving away. I can't really show it on the screen, which can be a deal breaker to some, but these are nitpickings. Anyway, the perfumes are selling under 1,000 rupees. It's like a strong ceramic part. The cap, however, can be made better. That is what I felt. Okay, the packaging seemed very nice. So Love Drunk, let's start with that. I know you have already seen the other videos. In case you didn't, this is Khamra. The atomizer is pretty powerful. Okay, for this one as well, it's the same. Love Drunk is basically Khamra, but less depth, more airy. It seems like the Khamra DNA is now going to be cloned a lot. There will be a lot of clone houses that is going to clone the Khamra, but in case you want a dense, long-lasting Khamra, then this is not the one. This is a much lighter, airier version of Khamra. I saw a popular reviewer coming and saying that this is Khamra Kawa, which is not the case, or Angel Share if you want to talk about the OG. Okay, is it a really good Khamra alternative? Depending on your budget, if you only have like 700 rupees to spend, then this is actually a really good option. In my honest opinion, this is. They're giving some coupons like this. Okay, they are giving some coupons like this. If you scan this QR, you will get around 399 rupees off. That will be added to your wallet. So when you're purchasing the perfumes, if in case you have purchased this one, Discovery set, then this Discovery set becomes free. So that's there, which is a neat little touch, and a lot of money is being spent on the marketing, which is a good stuff. Okay, coming from the brand. Love Drunk is basically Khamra. The perfume projects. It's not like it's like mellowed or moderate. The perfume will project, not even if not in beast mode way, it will be strong. And the overall longevity that I've got with this particular DNA is around 6 to 7 hours when applied on the clothes. And I kid you not. A lot of reviews are there online regarding the perfumes not lasting more than 3 to 4 hours. The DNA of Khamra is such. It's so dense. It's so thick. It's so, sweet. It kind of tends to linger on your clothes for a long duration of time. The OG Khamra will last you an entire day. And this one would last you around 6 to 7 hours easily when applied on the clothes. And if the temperature is moderate to cold, this is going to stay. In terms of the overall smell structure, I would say not bad. If you want something like Khamra, you can actually go for it. So that's my take with Love Drunk. Now let's move on to the next one. This is Lights Off. Okay. By some very popular reviewer, was mentioned as, if you like calf, you should go for this. This kind of smells like calf to some people. I say no. This is not calf. This does not smell like calf. This kind of felt more like Herba Pura, but here the floral nuances are a bit more, and there is an added note of lotus. Also, if you see the notes, it says passion fruit, caramel, and amber. And the note of passion fruit is very prominent over here. It's a very fruity kind of a perfume. If in case you have ever had Poppins, the small chocolates, that's how the perfume will have an undertone of. It's a very candy-like, but fruity candy-like smell, along with the vanillic sweetness. And the perfume, honestly, is not bad. If you're a teenager, you might like this perfume. But this is the but. There is some alcoholic blast in the perfume. I don't know why people said that there is no alcoholic blast. At least to me, I got some amount of alcoholic blast, but it does get settled within 3 to 5 minutes max, and then you're good to go. But the overall longevity with this perfume is not that great. 3 to 4 hours, and after that, it kind of lingers onto your clothes, and it's not that prominent. I mean, you'll have to smell it coming very close. I mean, apart from that, this perfume will not be something that you will be able to smell out of anybody. The projection on this one is also moderate. I would say 30 minutes to 40 minutes this will project, but in a very moderate way, not a strong one. And the overall longevity is like 4 to 4.5 hours max when applied on the clothes. Okay. Again, for the pricing, it's okay. It's not bad. Let's move on to the next perfume, which is By the Beach. Okay. Honestly, this perfume was not something that catered to my taste, because By the Beach is like Aqua Amara coming from the house of Bulgari, or you can say Aqua di Gio Profumo. I mean, I'm not saying it's a clone. I will say that it's in the similar family or similar DNA. But then again, what this perfume is characterized by is a heavy note of cologne or a seaweed-like note that I actually don't like. I mean, it gives you a very eggy feel. I have already told in the past, like perfumes like Ortho Parisi Megamar, which has a dominant note of cologne, is something that I don't like. Similarly, with this one, like By the Beach, I have a problem. And also I've noted down a few more things. It's fresh, good, lacks performance, true. Seaweed note, somebody said again that this smells like Seaside Forest by Hassan Oud. Not at all. It does not smell like seaside forest. I don't know why this was mentioned, but since it was mentioned, I'm letting you know this. I already have a seaside forest with me. I already did a review about seaside forest, which is kind of like a clone of Gala Vetiver. It's not okay. By the beach is a very different DNA. Oh, by the way, somebody mentioned that this smells like pseudonym in the opening, minus the smokiness. Yeah, it does. So the guy who said that is actually true. This is old money. This has got chamomile, cedar, vanilla. I was kind of confused when I got it. This also tends to lean towards the Herba Pura DNA. So I was like, already I had got lights off which had the DNA of Herba Pura. This is also going in the same direction. Are they similar? What happened basically over here? So this is kind of Herba Pura, but here the vanillic sweetness is a bit more. The florals are a bit different compared to that of lights off ones. There is some amount of synthetic blast that will come from the perfumes, to be honest, but you have to deal with it when you're buying perfumes at this particular price range. Oh, before I forget, old money, like the Herba Pura test with more vanillic sweetness and a little bit different florals. This also lasts similar to that of lights off. So around 4 to 4.5 hours max. This will last. Projects around 30 to 40 minutes in a moderate way, very similar to that of lights off. This is my Wingman. This is cardamom, tobacco, cedar. Now here is something very, very, very interesting. Here what happens, somebody will feel it goes towards the direction of red tobacco, that some will say it's noir extreme. Chetan from Sentimental, I respect his nose a lot. He mentions this as blazing Mr. Sam. There are a lot of opinions about this perfume. What I personally felt is Chetan is the closest when it comes to the DNA, Sentimental basically. It also has got some elements of noir extreme. It also feels like red tobacco. And there is one more person, I forgot the channel. He mentioned this as a smell of Chamanprash. Okay. And I get the reason why this was said, because there is a medicinal undertone to the perfume. So the guy referred this perfume to as smelling Chamanprash. It has that undertone. You will feel like there is some amount of things that makes you smell like this, but this is not at all head-to-head clone of Chamanprash. Okay. It's kind of a tobacco-ish perfume, but then again, it also has got some synthetic opening, at least in my case, and the perfume didn't feel very well blended in my opinion. But in terms of the overall longevity, this performed way better than the other two. This stayed on my clothes for around 6 hours, and the projection was around 40 to 50 minutes, but it was more stronger than the other two that I just discussed. Okay. Now, here is the thing. A guy actually mentioned this. It smells like Milky Way from Niche. Milky Way is actually a different perfume, and only the note of cardamom feels like it's there, and that is the reason it has been talked about as smelling like Niche Milky Way. I didn't feel, although the opening might feel a bit like Niche Milky Way, but Niche Milky Way has got more lactonic notes. It has got sandalwood. It has got a bit of coconut. It's a very different perfume, and the sweetness is also there. Over here, the tobacco takes over. There's a very different amount of undertone going in the perfume. It does not lean more towards Niche Milky Way. So it's kind of an amalgamation of a lot of perfumes, and a lot of perfumes will be felt over here. But the closest that I felt was from Chetan, which is Blazing Mr. Sam, Penhaligon's. Now, SelfMade. Where did it go? SelfMade. Yeah. This is bourbon, vanilla, and bergamot. I don't know. As mentioned by a very popular reviewer again. This is kind of a twist, you can say, on the DNA of Azaro Most Wanted EDP Intense at the base, with some amount of spices and a little bit of fresh notes at the top. And I would say this is kind of like in the DNA of Parfum, and it's in between Parfum and EDP Intense in my opinion. Parfum has got a bit of neroli, and EDP Intense does not. Parfum has got a bit of spices that EDP Intense does not, but at the same time, the note of toffee seemed more like EDP Intense rather than Parfum. So it's kind of in between the two. And also, because of the DNA, this lasts a bit longer than the others. This will tend to stretch like 5 to 6 hours when applied on the clothes. And the projection is also moderate, like 40 to 50 minutes of projection. But after reviewing this entire hymn set, I can say you something, that none of the perfumes has sillage, in my opinion. It will not create a scent trail. The moment you spray it, I think there is some compounds or chemicals that has been used in the perfume that amps up the projection the moment you spray it. Almost for the first 10 minutes, 15 minutes, the entire room will be filled with the aroma. It will feel like, oh my God, the perfume projects like hell. But allow it to rest, and after that, suddenly it comes closer. That entire projection is lost within the first 15 to 20 minutes. After that, it's very close. And that is where I said that the perfume doesn't create a scent trail around you. When you're moving, a lot of people will not get the whiff of the perfume. Even you will not get the whiff of the perfume until and unless you apply the heavier DNA over here, which is Love Drunk, SelfMade, and My Wingman. So these three kind of has a heavier base, and that is the reason they will tend to stay with you or make you feel that they are there and will give you some amount of whiffs. The others might not. Let's go with Habibi first. Again, the omnipresent two that we already talked about, which is Lights Off and Love Drunk. We are not going to talk about them. Although oud, the word oud now has been misused so much that every now and then a perfume will have oud in the name. So over here, Vetiver oud, golden oud, ivory oud, and oud honey. These four, apart from Love Drunk and Lights Off, are there in the oud collection. This is ivory oud. This is kind of like, as mentioned by Chetan, I actually followed all the channels before making the review as to what I feel about the perfumes, what the others were feeling about the perfume. And I kind of resonate with Chetan over here. Ivory oud is basically white oud by Bella Vita. It smells very similar, but there is some amount of changes done to make it feel a bit different. And this is in the same direction of White Oud by Bella Vita, which is a bit of musk, synthetic Cambodian oud kind of a feel, which is a bit on the sweeter side. The Cambodian oud is not that animally skanky oud, but rather a sweet oud, synthetic oud. And honestly, I didn't hate the perfume, to be honest. It is good. I mean, if you love something sweet with a Cambodian synthetic oud kind of a smell, you can go with this one. But you can also get the White Oud from Bella Vita. But this has a better performance than White Oud by Bella Vita. White Oud by Bella Vita is a bit more synthetic. This feels a bit more well blended. The overall longevity is around 4 to 4.5 hours, but the projection on this one is a bit more better than Bella Vita's White Oud. Okay. Now let's move on to the next one, which is Oud Honey. This is the one that I didn't like. Okay. Oud Honey, I have written it. Strong alcoholic blast, synthetic chocolate note, and no honey here. This is said to have honey, saffron, oud. I don't feel oud. I feel a bit synthetic kind of a smell over here. And chocolate, cheap chocolate as an alternative to dairy milk, as mentioned by a popular reviewer. It's true over here. It has that cheap toffee-like or chocolate-like smell. And I think that was intended to smell like honey. No, over here. It's kind of a very weirdly sweet perfume with an undertone of cheap chocolate, I would say. I didn't like, and the projection and longevity on this one was also not that bad. 4 hours, 4.5 hours. I mean, the theme is like 4 to 4.5 hours these perfumes are going to stay. The theme is like 30 to 40 minutes they're going to project. And most of the time, they're not going to create a very strong projection or a sillage. So that's like the general story over here, which is Vetiver oud. Okay. Vetiver oud. My God, it was mentioned as frost ice. Frost ice basically smells like Rasasi Havas ice. Or you can say frost ice is in between Rasasi Havas and Rasasi Havas ice. This is not like that. Vetiver oud does not smell like Ahmed Al Maghribi's frost ice at all. And I don't know why it is even called Vetiver oud to begin with. Moroccan rose, amber, and oud are in the note. Although you will get the notes of rose over here. And you will get some amount of sweetness, and like there is a very weird kind of sweetness, floral sweetness, and some pungently weird synthetic note of oud that has been given. It does not smell awfully awful, but it's not that great to my nose. I mean, this is a personal opinion. The combination of florals, particularly rose, and that Cambodian synthetic oud, which gives us slight hint of sweetness at the base, you can actually go with this one. But this, according to me, feels like some attars that I have used in the past, which is rose dominated attars. This has got that particular smell over here, which is Vetiver oud. Now, the last one, that I actually liked, but then again is subjective, is Golden Oud. Golden Oud is nothing but Latafa's Badil Oud, Initios Oud for greatness. This, like, that is the kind of perfume this is. But here is some amount of twist that has been added, which is, by the way, this has a lot of alcoholic blast when you initially spray it, but that is evident. It's kind of evident that this is going to happen, and that is the case. But this has got that unique twist of oak moss in it. It is a bit more oak mossy than the Badiyal Oud or Oud for greatness kind of DNA. So that is a slight twist that they have added over here, and I kind of dig on this one. Okay, this is good, actually good. And this one also lasts decently, like 5 to 6 hours due to the base. I mean, since the base is a bit heavy with this perfume, this will tend to last a bit more on your clothes. Also, the projection is going to be a bit higher on this one due to the note structure. So this will project like that 40 to 50 minutes only, but that the strength of the projection will be a bit stronger than the others. And then let's get down to the female perfumes that my wife basically loved. And there is only a few, okay? 3 of them basically. So from that omnipresent ones, which is Lights Off and Love Drunk, she kind of liked Lights Off. There is no problem with Lights Off to her. And the one that she absolutely fell in love with really was White Jazz. She absolutely adored it because this is a typical floral perfume with simple notes. It's more like a wedding ceremony in a Bengali wedding where tuberose and jasmine are very common. So, but this is kind of an old school DNA. Majorly, if somebody is above the age of 30, 35, they will prefer this more. This is very floral dominated perfume, and you will feel like somebody is wearing that kajra kind of a thing. That kind of smell will come out from this particular perfume. So if you're into it, then great. If not, then it's not. Peaches is rose, orange, musk. The combination seemed very different, but at the same time, it's something that maybe females will love. But as a guy, I don't want this perfume to be on my partner. It didn't feel that great to me. That was not the case with White Jazz. Chandrima kind of liked this one, but I didn't like it, which was Peaches. And I will talk about the projection and longevity because it's very similar. We both kind of enjoyed another one, which is Hot AF, which is hot as, again, very synthetic, okay? And this is supposed to have the notes of blackcurrant, lily, and truffle. But I can only get the note of blackcurrant with a little bit of floral notes of lily. Truffle, I don't get it. I didn't get it. But all in all, is it a bad perfume? No. These are good. I mean, at least to Chandrima, these smelled nice for the pricing that they were coming at. And she was okay with the synthetic blast as well because she was pretty practical about it. Like, you're spending so less amount of money, synthetic blast is supposed to be there. If I had to recommend just 3 from all the perfumes that I've discussed so far, which 3 it would have been, okay? So things that I really liked about the perfume was the pricing, because at 755, getting 100 ml of perfumes with this kind of a packaging, great. There shouldn't be any complaints, and that is the reason I said that initially I wanted to hate this perfumes. I actually wanted to bash this perfumes. I wanted to make sure that, you know, my video goes viral. People will like, oh, how can he bash like that or something like that? But that actually didn't happen. After I received it, I was like, yeah, the pricing is kind of justified. I mean, what's wrong if somebody is charging less and giving you less? If somebody charges more and then gives you less, that would have been a problem. So good packaging, good bottles, slight work needs to be done with the cap. So that's a feedback. And overall, the perfumes are not as synthetic as being talked about in Reddit or some other places. Like, some people are saying that the perfumes are unstable. I didn't feel that way, that the perfumes are unstable. I have smelled perfumes awful. I mean, more awful than this at a much higher cost. So I will not bash these perfumes based on the quality. What I will bash this perfume is, I mean, I did the same for West Side, and that is the reason I'm saying directly coming and outright copying bottles. That's a part. I mean, it could have been done better. Reason Alhambra does it, other brands does it, so why not? What I didn't like about the perfumes are all these perfumes are kind of linear. What it starts off with ends with it, okay? There is no transition in the perfume. But again, the same question comes in my mind. Like, at this price point, what are your expectations? What are you expecting from the perfumes? Are you expecting the perfumes to change, transition from one note to the other? I don't think so at this price point this is even possible. So yeah, I do get that. So these are linear perfumes. There is very, very, very minimal amount of sillage with the perfumes, apart from Love Drunk, basically because of the note structure it has. The others don't have that amount of sillage. That's there. So these are the small little nitpicks that I can do about the perfumes. Other than that, for the pricing that they're coming at with those innovative, scan here things that will add money to your wallet and everything. I mean, the perfumes are not bad to be recommended, to be honest with you. So if in case you're looking for budget perfumes, Bla Bli Blu is actually not bad. I mean, while I'm taking the name, I'm thinking like Bla Bli Blu. I mean, when the name was, I saw the name, I was like, what the? But now I have to say this, Bla Bli Blu is actually good perfumes. I mean, for the price that they come at, they're actually good. But only three, if I had to recommend from all the perfumes that I have tried, Love Drunk, if in case you are into the DNA of Khamra, you can go for it. But I have smelled other Khamra clones which are better than this, provides better longevity than this and cheaper. Okay, so you should do your research before getting into the DNA. Even if you want to go for Khamra Kawa, there is another perfume which sells for $5.95, which is Mocha Toast. That's a bit more expensive than this, but you can go for that. But only if you're going for Khamra from Bla Bli Blu, that's a good take, which is Love Drunk. Lights Off is actually good. I kind of enjoyed the perfume, but I would still go with the other two that I actually loved, stayed a bit longer with me, and is particularly perfect for the upcoming winters, which is basically self-made, like Azaro Most Wanted, EDP, and Parfum in between, that hybrid, and My Wingman, which is a bit synthetic, a bit sweet, Chavan Prash like, Blazing Mr. Sam, Fresh Red Tobacco, Tom Ford Noir Extreme, all those DNA mixed into one. So Shaktiman. Okay, so these were the three perfumes that I can recommend to you. So that is kind of my overall take on the perfumes. I hope this video was insightful enough for you to finally make a decision. And if in case you have already did, I think your time was wasted over here. So in case you have any queries or concerns with any of these perfumes, or if you have any queries or concerns with any perfume for that matter, use the comment section or connect with me via Instagram, which is Scent Saga Online. I will try my best to answer all your queries. With that, this is Deep signing off. I'll see you in the next one very soon. Bye-bye.